Hey everyone, this is Show versus Business, the real Theo Harvey and Mr. Benja. We're here again for another hot take on what's happening in pop culture. Look, this one's super exciting. We talked about what are you watching? We went into like all the things I got excited about watching TV shows, movies, what makes them interesting, what makes us want to watch more of it. Mr. Benja, I mean, was this something that you had on your radar to talk about this week?
I mean, as I said, Arcane Season 2 betrayed me. It hurt my heart, and I'm still not over it. So it got me thinking about all the other stuff that I've watched, I've liked, I didn't like. It just got into some good discussions about what's out there streaming, why it's streaming now, who they're streaming to, the new way that we introduce shows. You know, you got to get in there, punch on that first episode, and if not the first episode, punch in on the third episode. So we got into a little thing about, the creativity of it and the business side of it too. Yeah, it was a good little discussion. We went a lot of places. I enjoyed it, and I think people will be happy.
Yeah, same here. Also, we hit some hot trailers this week. Got 3 for you guys: Lilo and Stitch, Black Mirror, and the new F1 movie. Oh man, super excited about those trailers. One of them gonna be $1 billion. So let us know which one you think. Before I forget, look, like, subscribe, smash that like button, do all that stuff. Give us comments. We did a comment corner again. Shout out to our commenters. So look, go ahead and comment. We may get featured on our next podcast.
And you don't have to be nice, man. You can give us the smoke. You can flame us. We'll take it all.
Give us the smoke. We take it all. We take it all. I love it. The flames. All right, guys. We're ready to go, man. Mr. Benja, you ready?
Let's do this.
Let's go. This is Show versus Business, where pop culture meets pop money. With your host, the real Theo Harvey and Mr. Benja. So, Mr. Benja, how was your week?
Week was good, man. I've told you before, I was in the lab, right? Doing all my work and figuring stuff out and like boom, 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 knocking it out, putting one test tube in the other, watching stuff explode. Now I'm not in the lab anymore, man. I'm in the dungeon. I don't know if you know about the dungeon, right? It's the lower part of the lab where you go down and you do your real work, the work no one wants to talk about, the hardcore work, where you shut off all the lights and turn on the candles, get to work. So, been in the dungeon.
Man, the dungeon. Dang, man. My week was interesting, man. I had a little health issue. My foot was a little injured, so I was kind of dealing with that this week and had to travel to Michigan. And, it wasn't as cold as the last time I went, thank God. But trying to deal with that. And then dealing with my son, he finally got his black belt officially after we record this. So all day event. Basically started at 8. He had to run a 2 miles. He had to do a bunch of physical tests, to see how he can roll, how he can like crawl on his back and all that. He had to write a essay. Then he had to do his whole forms and all that. And then finally, was able to, he broke his boards and he got his black belt. So it was a long day, not just for him, but for dad as well, who was there all day taking videos and pictures and all that. So yeah, man, it was a good accomplishment, man, for him. He started when he was 5, and after watching the Avatar, the last Avatar, the story of Aang, and got excited about bending and said, "Hey, I want to do that." I said, "You can't bend, but you can try to do some of the moves." So he got super excited about learning kicks and all that. And so yeah, it's just been an interesting journey over the last 4 years.
Hey man, if you get them, if you're into the father-son social media thing, the whole intro to Avatar, with the moves and all the katas, yeah, man, that's awesome stuff.
Yeah. So you might be able to do that, but I was impressed, man. It's a lot, man. Just they were throwing. They said jab, hook, cross. I was like, you knew all that? He was just like do, round kick, front kick. I was like, he did it every time they said it. Then I think he the dojo, the Master Van Cleef, who runs the Apex dojo. Shout out to him. Runs a great program, but he also was talking about self-defense. So he had a whole section where the kids they said, okay, someone's attacking you, do anything. And so basically just seeing if they had muscle memory enough to learn how to fend off an attacker,
Hmm.
and so that was kind of interesting. So the kids had to just do whatever, and just do the
Yeah.
whole Steven Seagal move. Remember Steven Seagal breaking ankles, breaking wrists with his little Aikido.
Yeah.
Kids
Yeah.
were doing all that, taking knife. He had a fake knife. Someone was trying to attack you with a knife. Knife is gone. Somebody tried to grab you from behind. Woof, woof, woof. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about tactics, man. You remind me, my brother, older brother. The first time I saw karate in action, because he had taken karate for a while, and I wasn't taking it. I was into other stuff, you know, piano music and everything. Um, my brother got in this little argument with the guy at school, not at school, on the playground near our apartment, and they started yelling at each other. And my brother grabbed like his book bag or his toy or something and threw it in the bushes. And right when the kid turned around, my brother laid a karate kick on his back and kicked him in the bushes. Boy, I had laughed so hard in my entire life. And after that moment, I was like, I want to learn karate.
Yeah. So did you go on this journey of karate?
Yeah, I didn't go. I didn't take it too far, but no, I definitely took karate for a little while. Yeah, took for a little while. Got off of it, got back in, um, and then did some physical stuff. I did go to a basketball camp at one point. Um, yeah, uh, but I didn't ever start worrying about what belts I was getting and all that. I took some tests. I forgot how far I got, but I was like, yeah, whatever.
It's all about the experience for Mr. Benja. I love it. Never about the results, just the inputs. I love it. Yeah, that's what I'm realizing too, man. It's about the inputs. I tell everybody, like, the results will come. Just gotta put the inputs in. So nah, man. So super excited, and he, talked about how he wanted to quit multiple times, which he told us. I think he was overwhelmed of all the things he had to learn, but he just did it, and slowly but surely, now he's on this other side, and cool. He's like a junior black belt, because I think officially he can't be a black belt till you're like 13 or 14, something like that. So he can come back and get his I guess senior black belt. So, but it's a cool little belt, has his name on it and everything. His
Nice.
So yeah, and I think the of the 17 years that he's done it, he said they've he gave out 138 black belts, and so of the 17 years he's been doing this, and so Langston's like 132, so you can kind of see it on the black belt and on the certificate. So pretty
Nice.
cool. Yeah. So yeah, man. So fun times, man. Fun times.
Good stuff.
Going there every 2 days a week for Tuesdays and Thursdays, for an hour for the last. And every time we went up, we like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this, and paying, I don't know, 150 a month, So here's the business me guy and me
Yeah.
coming out, right? I'm like, so wait, I paid 150 a month, right, for 4 years. So that's basically, I mean, 15 was that 1,500? No, yeah, times 10, 53,000. It's probably about $6,000
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
sold, give or take. I'm like, what? I got a guy in my car when he was 16. Yeah, man. These programs are not cheap, man. But yeah, he achievement. He can always say, I got a black belt, before I was 10, and so that's something. Hopefully, he can take it when he tries other achievements. That's just a muscle memory, or a memory can go back to give him strength. When he has other achievements he's trying to get to. So kudos to him, man. So yeah, so
Yeah.
so good times, man.
Yeah. That's really good stuff, man. My parents, I remember them. They put me in a lot of different things, and really wanted me to just see what was out there. So, gosh, I mean, I even went to the Howard University Children's Theater. You know,
Yeah.
there was just all kinds of stuff going on, and it was funny between the different family members, like me, my kid, not my kids, me, the other kids, my aunts, their children, cousins, everybody. They would all go to these different programs, and we would all just kind of talk about what we knew, what we didn't know, and it was just this weird group of kids who had all these different experiences, and we could all
Hmm.
talk to each other about. whatever. I mean, I even ended up in a biology camp. It was just
Yeah.
it was fun times, man. I kind of miss that, and that's actually going to lead into some of what we talk about today with the streaming business.
Awesome. I love it. Do you want to get straight into comment corner?
Yeah, yeah. We're always keeping track of the comments, checking out who's talking about what. We definitely appreciate our viewers and our commenters, keeping a little conversation going between people. And I picked two that caught my eye. One from episode 208. That was artificial intelligence can now own you for $20,000. That was a pretty good episode. I had fun with that one. And someone spelled with two N's said talking about the AI agents that cost $20,000 a month. Said, it's $20,000 a month. No real aid and no real AI agents don't need people to manage the process. Um, we were talking about how, hey, if you're going to pay this AI, you better just sip your coffee and say, hey, go do some good stuff, and then come back, 2 hours or an hour later and be like, thank you very much. So yeah, this guy agrees with more of what you were saying. Just hey, go do some stuff, and it better be good for 20,000 a month.
Yes, that's a lot of money, man. I put in there. We didn't talk about this, but it's not in the show notes. But I put in the in our thread that we sent back and forth. You heard this term called vibe coding? It's just a
Hmm.
new term that just came out. So yeah, it's just basically using AI and using natural language to kind of just have it programmed for you, like Tony Stark, right?
Yeah,
And it's like if you know how to program, then it's something that can be very useful. People are saying that it takes you weeks to kind of develop. You can do it in probably days because you can just verbally see the code and just talk to the AI to develop it for you in almost near real time. And so that's become a thing now, Mr. Benja. This whole vibe coding scenario. So, are you? I know you're a decent programmer. I don't know if you're out of practice or not, but have you
totally out of
tried
practice.
have you tried vibe coding?
No, but earlier in our podcast, somewhere along the way, it was definitely in the double digits. Not we hadn't hit episode 100 yet. We were talking about where AI was going and everything, and I mentioned that one of the places we wanted to get to was the holodeck, of from Star Trek. And that's the place where you go in there and you start talking to the computer, saying, "Hey, computer, I'd like a field, a meadow. Okay, daytime. Okay, a little more lush with foliage, not as many trees, more bushes and grass. Okay, and a meadow over here." And you just start getting into a vibe where you're describing what you want, and it changes it on the fly and starts building whatever the case may be. And this can be applied to 3D environments, to coding, to instructions, to avatar creation, to other AI agents. Like, hey, I need an AI agent that is this tall, does this, doesn't talk like me, talks more like my aunt, you know, and it's just a way of having a conversation and letting your mind flow free and the computer giving back what it thinks you want. Big stuff.
That's just vibe coding in a nutshell, man. We predicted it 3 years ago. So just to give it a cool name. But yeah, so this is where we're at right now, man. People are so it seems like AI, we'll get back into the comment corner in a second, but it does seem like AI, this search for artificially general intelligence is kind of like put in the back burner right now, and now we're
Hmm.
just trying to find ways to make it useful with this vibe coding or deep research to kind of find more information, and really detailed information around topics, you reasoning so you can kind of understand his logic. So those are the features that push it on us now, right? And of course some video and audio editing and artificial intelligent agents to kind of things move around. So instead of pitching us this big vision of AGI and just like a human being, and you just tell it what to do and it does it, right? It's more like here are all these different things. You can have an agent, you have reasoning, you can have vibe coding, you know. Hey, you got a plethora of ways to use
Yeah,
AI. You don't have to go for AGI, and I think that's the marketing spin they're starting to change toward.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I want to go to the next comment.
Let's do it.
All right. So next comment was from our accountant two reaction, which I figure got as many views as it did, which was a good amount of views. I figured it got that many views because it was kind of a cult favorite, not necessarily the most explosive trailer out there, but a cult favorite. So we got a comment from Benjamin Anon 23, and he simply left a heart. I love it. The only comment there, somebody left a heart. It's like, you know what? Once you get a little franchise, you get your little cult following, and someone loves it. That's all you can ask for, man.
I mean, you called it, Mr. Benja. I mean, I was like, accountant too. I mean, who's checking for that? But obviously, this is the rare one of the rare cases where it's a movie I have not seen and you saw,
And I
and
have,
so
yeah.
and so it's like I didn't know that it's the vibes are so deep for this one, man. People are in their feelings about this one. So yeah, kudos to you. Definitely. I was trying to look at, like, I think it got, let's see, where is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it got about 390 views for us. That's pretty good. So yeah, man. Kudos to you. You called it. That people are definitely checking for this one.
I mean, well, I think that we're going to end up going more into a cult kind of thing anyway, where we start separating and bifurcating into all these different sections of content. Where it's you got the Marvel, then it breaks into the Marvel Magic and the Marvel, you know, real gritty neighborhood group, and then you start breaking up into factions or whatever you want to call it. And I think we're going to keep getting more of that.
I agree. I think, it's the internet is nothing else. Is starting to break down to fractions, man. Everybody's just kind of find their own little tribes and, rocking into their tribes and not going outside those tribes. And I, you know what? We'll talk about maybe another time. But this is what I was talking about. These algorithms, man, they're just kind of keeping us in these bubbles, and it's
Hmm.
dictating more and more of what we see and what we think, and we just kind of stay in our bubbles. And because of the because of the algorithms,
Yeah,
going to keep pushing us more and more, and pretty soon our thinking is already going to be predicted by the algorithm.
yeah. Speaking of the algorithm, how it likes to lump you in with a group of your friends and like, hey, all of your friends who like this also like this, so let me show that to you, man.
That's true.
I told you about the workout fitness ladies, right? How
Yes.
it showed up in my algorithm again. It just flooded my feed suddenly. I was like, dang it! It took me months to get rid of this.
It's
Um,
back. They know you, Mr. Benja. They know you better than the algorithm knows you better than you know yourself.
I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at it, so I allowed it.
What's funny, I start going these tangents. You know how the shorts is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
It pops up in your feed, these different kind of things. He's like, oh, that's interesting. So we'll talk about later. But I've been watching Invincible, and so I kind of want to do some more deep dive on the TV show and the comic book. And of
right.
course, now it's giving me nothing but Invincible stuff, right? And then I'm going down these deep dives. I'm like, oh wow. So yeah, man, it's the algorithm is there to keep you. What's the system is there to defend itself.
The system is designed to defend itself.
There it is, the algorithm.
But one thing I wanted to mention with that whole algorithm thing is if I'm going somewhere where not that I shouldn't be going, but I don't like certain videos, like I don't hit the heart button on them. And it's funny because once I get caught up in the lane of whatever topic I'm looking at, I can see all my friends liking this one sort of thing. And one of my friends is, you know, just into some stuff. And I'm just like, bruh, stop liking all that. You're a public figure. People can see you.
Yeah, it is what it is, But we know stories of old tweets, old likes, old whatever popping up when you become, super public. So yeah, it's can be a dangerous game, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, a whole group of people on Discord or some Reddit, server somewhere will be like, he unfollowed this person. It's like, what? You're gonna call me out for unfollowing somebody? Get out of here.
The world we live in, Mr. Benja. Oh man. All right, yeah, man. Let's keep it moving, man. Man, we're gonna keep it light this one, guys. We've been kind of deep diving on all kinds of interesting things, AI and streaming.
Yeah.
But Mr. Benja, I figured this one, let's just talk about what we're watching, man. Let's go back to the roots of what we used to talk about, like shows, movies, things that were kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm there for it, Mr. Benja. What we're going to talk about today about what are you watching?
I was actually wondering how to approach this because after Arcane season two, which is the third, I want to say the third biggest betrayal of mine in recent memory. Um, there was the Last Jedi. It was just a big betrayal for me that
Wait,
left me,
wait. Betrayal of the storyline or betrayal of just the show itself?
man, betrayal of my heart. I was hurt, man. I was like, why would you do this?
They did
And
you
it's
dirty.
good, it's quality, but I'll have
They
that
did you
discussion
dirty.
anytime. Shout out to the people who love it. Shout out to the people who hate it. Anyway, the Last Jedi was one of them. And then after an interview with Zack Snyder, I went and watched Sucker Punch with high hopes like a dummy. Um, yeah, so that was the second. That was another betrayal. And season two, man, of Arcane, I'm going back. When something's so, I don't want to say bad, but it's so against your expectations, you have to like leave the room, walk around in a circle, then go back in and be like, wait, no, what did I just see? What was that? And watch it
Mhm.
again because it was so against your expectations. I did that with Arcane, and I'm like, this is bonkers. And they have more coming. So I'm thinking I don't know why they rushed this exactly, but anyway, I had my third betrayal, and after that betrayal, I'm like, I don't want to watch anything, and I'm feeling weird about it.
Yeah, Mr. Benja, you think you're going too high expectations around these shows sometimes?
I try to have no expectations. Actually, I really do try to have no expectations. But when the creators themselves are setting up something, and then they switch the game up, or they lie to you, or they try to do the whole subversion thing and just be silly with it, it's like, what are you doing? I mean, really, what are you doing? And it just, yeah, just weird.
You know what? I don't recall, I mean, being upset about things, when it comes to what I'm watching. Because if I don't like it, I stop watching it or I'll just fast forward certain storylines. But I'm always judging, like, what show gives me hype and what am I kind of
Mm,
watching. And so I always think I can count on like one hand almost. Like I went into a movie or show and just like had like low expectations for it, and it just surpassed me. And that to me is the most exciting thing about what I watch, like just that. And I don't get it often, but it's like once a year when I get it, man, I was like, that was worth it, man. So like I can remember seeing Snowpiercer for the first time. I heard good things about it, and I went to go see it, and I had to go. I had to go far to go see it because it's the same. It was the same summer that when the Transformers came out, and it was like everywhere. I said, I'm not gonna see that crap. I'm gonna see some good movie. I'm gonna see a good movie, and I went to go see Snowpiercer, and I was blown away by it. I was like, man, that's what I'm talking about. I can remember seeing the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington. I almost gave up on Denzel. I was like, I kind of know what this is about, hint to Bible. But they had one more twist in there, and it's like blew my mind and just reframed the whole story. And I was like, Denzel, I'm still a fan. I still love you. And so it was like that gave me hope in just Denzel as an actor and the choices he make, but also just in the ability to surprise you in movie telling and read how you reframe the whole movie based on a twist at the end, and that was kind of interesting to me. And then made me really want to deep dive into that whole story of how that world was created and all that, and who was this guy
mm,
before his journey. The
yeah.
character Denzel played, and then most recently I saw Godzilla Plus One. I think I told you about that one where I went in on my birthday, just saying we'll watch a movie. Didn't hear anything about it. I said I'm not really a Godzilla guy. I watched. I said, man, this is the most amazing movie I've seen in forever, man. It was
There you go. That's what I'll watch.
Godzilla
I'll
minus one.
minus.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for something to watch to kind of get me back on track. That's what I'll go back and check out.
It's not just a story about Godzilla, but it's a story about sacrifice and being a coward and being a hero and what you owe to community. It was like layers to this thing. I was like, dang. And then, then even at the end, I mean, I almost shedded a tear, man. It was so emotional. I was like, what is going on? This is Godzilla. So to me, it's like, man, when you get that, to me, that's just the most exciting thing, when you see something or you feel something you haven't felt in a while, or you just didn't expect to feel by watching a movie or TV show, then to me, that's the best thing. So man, I don't really uh go into the things and be disappointed by stuff. I'm just like, that's just what it is, and I just keep it moving. Now maybe
Yeah.
some people can say it's a waste of time, and then I just wasted my time to that. But to me, I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's more like, hey, this is something that you explored and didn't work out. You can just stop watching it. If it's a show, some shows I haven't finished watching.
Well, if something is legitimately bad, I can actually watch those. Like if it's just if the quality isn't there, or you're like, okay, you tried to rush this, you know, or the camera work, or something happened, and like where you can tell that the circumstances didn't lead to a good place, and it's like, what, whatever, it's okay. I understand that the budget wasn't there for X, Y, and Z, etc. Something happened, you had to change actors at some point, cut scenes out, whatever. I'm more angry with, in terms of my betrayals, like they did something that felt like somebody just tried to mess you up in some way. They tried to do something that wasn't in the best interest of,
What's that? Manipulate you?
not manipulate, screw me over. Like the Matrix 4. That was the other betrayal I was trying to think of. The Matrix 4.
I can't remember anything about Matrix 4. That was so terrible.
I was I was
I couldn't tell
angry
you. I
because
couldn't tell you a thing to one about what was going on in that movie.
part of the way through I had grabbed, clutched my chest, because I was like, I think they did this on purpose. So yeah, I honestly believe that now. I think it was done like that on purpose to get people to come out of talking about the movie and talk about the movie industry and the way things are going, and this weird meta conversation about being in, quote unquote, the Matrix, and being in a story.
Oh yeah, that's right. They sure had that. Yeah, it was like, oh, this is real or not yet. But I couldn't tell you a thing about that movie. I just saw well, I could tell you two movies. Well, I just saw what's it does? Venom, The Last Dance, or whatever it was called. The Last Venom. It popped up on Netflix. I said, let me check this out. I'm half asleep, it's fast forwarding. But like you're right. I mean, I don't think it wasn't a good movie, but I'm like trying to pick out things and like, okay, well, you know what? Tom Hardy, he's giving a great performance as both Venom and himself. I think that's a good thing. So to your point, even in the bad movies, you're like, it's like a treasure hunt. That was good. Madam Web, I'm looking at Madam Web. I like terrible movie, but okay. I'm feeling the Richard Parker scene. Did you watch Madam Web at all?
No, but I was planning on watching Craven tonight, so
Oh yeah, the Crave is the other one I'm gonna watch and kind of do that treasure hunt for for value. This is gonna be a terrible movie. Just get your expectations low. I think that's what I do too. I try to keep my expectations super low for these movies. So I'm going in. I'm like, oh, this is not good. Now, some shows, I'm kind of like here. I was like, this could be good because I like the concept. So for instance, there's a show me and my wife watch. It's called The Pit. It's like the next generation ER, right? It's on HBO.
yeah, okay, I heard about that one.
Yeah, so it's like two interesting concepts. Number one, it's on streaming or HBO, so they can show, real blood and viscera and gore, right? As opposed to a network show back in the day, right? And then they can, if the concept is, it's like an hour, uh, every episode is 1 hour of a day. So basically, there's 12 episodes, so it's a 12-hour shift. So you got like the 8 to 9 episode, the 9 to 10 episode. So the concept is like, you experience the worst day of these doctors' lives, all these different experiences. And I came in like that's an interesting concept, and I like ER back. We used to call it back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just like that. I probably should have been a
Er.
doctor, but that's a whole nother thing. So I was like, and then my wife, she's a nurse, so I was like, "What's that mean?" She'll break it down for me. I said, "Okay, cool." And then obviously, I am in
Yeah.
healthcare, so I know a little something. So anyway, I'm watching it. Man, that show's awesome, man. I mean, there's not a dull moment in that show, and that's what I love, man. Because too many shows I watch, you know, how many times I fast forward scenes just because they're like, you know, they're trying to set the mood, or you know, here's the environment, or they're walking down a hall to get you. I'm like, fast forward all that, just get to the talking. I want to see all that. So they get, or you know, there's a scene where people are talking about how they're gonna split up or get together and all this other crap. But that they everything they're talking about is like they bring in, you know, it's always someone hurt that's coming in that they got to fix, and in the midst of that, they're trying to do character development, which is super exciting. And then also they're progressing different storylines, so they're like doing
Yeah,
3 4 different things. Well, we're 4 things. So they're trying to explain a concept of medical, you know, procedure. They have an emergency thing where there's urgent, someone can die, so you have to understand like what's that going on. You got individual character beats right in the room. Why is this doctor
yeah,
feeling like this? Why is this doctor tentative? And then they have ongoing, you know, progression of storylines. Man, those 4 things that's working on those 4 levels, your brain is like bing, 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 bing. I don't have to turn it. I don't have to turn it off. I don't have to fast forward because I'm just like there, and it makes the show go so much better. Um, Kind of like X-Men '97. Remember how we felt when we watched that? That was just like this. I mean, we both came. I came in like, yes, you know, whatever. I was like, is this good or what? Is it just me? Is this good? It was
there's so
like
much I
shocking.
can't even tell. It's just,
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
you don't you love that experience? I was watching it. I was like, man, this is good, but I don't know if I'm is my quality meter off, because this is better than it should be. This is better than it has any intention of being, and that to me, as you can tell, my voice and the excitement that gives me hype, man, when I see stuff like that.
I think that we're going to see more and more of that as a function of where we are with social media, short form video, and TikTok, and all of that. We're going to get more of this bang, 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 get in there for for most people. And then on the other side, for people who are already invested, that's when they're going to take their time, slow down, and do a bunch of slow, melodramatic kind of, let's just set the scene. And people who are into it are just going to be able to calm down and soak that up. But for everybody else, or to get them into it, it's going to be like rapid fire.
Yeah, I think that's gonna you're right, because I was thinking about the same thing. Long form is so tough to do nowadays because of social media and our attention spans. And if you're not, because even I was watching this other show, what's it called? The Wheel of Time, right? I mean, nobody's checking for it right now. It's in its 3rd season, but I kind of got with it. It's like fantasy show, right? This long running fantasy series. So I watched the first season, 2nd season, and I'm like, this thing is so slow, right? In certain areas, that kind of like The Witcher, right? It was like has some interesting moments, and it's like gets
Hmm.
super slow with the details into the mythology and all that kind of crap in the world building. It's like, okay, I get it. So they start the 3rd season. I was like, okay, it's gonna be another boring, but I gotta get together. Dude, they knew exactly what to do. They walked in first 5 seconds, man. Boom, boom. They throwing magic at people. You seen someone get split in half with magic. I said, okay, that's how you start it, man. You can't start with no slow shit. You gotta get in there, man. And likewise, have you seen Daredevil yet?
No, I haven't started Daredevil because I'm currently on my Disney ban.
Okay. When you get off your Disney band, I mean, it's not so much a spoiler. They go hard. They go hard in the paint in the first episode, like in the first. Because I'm like, okay, it's Daredevil. You know how you watch a show, you're like, okay, they gotta get everybody established, and everybody gotta get together. Then they talk, and
Yeah.
they, man, these shows ain't playing no more, man. The first, it's like the intro in a short form or long form video. You gotta get people's attention in that first minute. If you're not getting people's attention, I'm done. I'm done, son.
So a while ago, this, and as I mentioned before, this is coming straight from anime. A lot of I know for a fact a lot of these guys are taking straight from the way anime does it, because with anime and manga, just the way the industry is set up, you have to get people in. If not the first episode, there is an automatic cutoff at like episode 3. So if you don't do it in the first episode, it's like, okay, we'll give you a little time to bubble. If you don't do it by 3, you're done. I don't know if you know about how they do manga, where they put the little books out in the newsstand, and you read them while you're on the train, and you read them during lunch or whatever, or during your breaks. It's a whole thing, right? Well, they have so many manga that get created that it's like, if they put you in a book, They're like, hey, listen, we're putting you in this little compilation book. You have a couple issues of this book. If the readers don't say they like your stuff, you're done, and you're going back to the mailroom to start your whole journey over again. I don't care who you are, you're starting over again if no one picks you up. So they have to come in punchy, and that bled into the anime. So the anime has to start out punchy. If it starts out punchy, then people get into it, and then you can flow. And yeah, there's just no room for anything else. And I think it's a good thing that people are picking up on it.
Well, you look at the One Piece manga, right? It's been running for over 25 years. That's amazing.
Yeah,
So when you see stuff like that, he's getting people's attention and keeping. And then I think also the heavy lifting has already kind of been done where, suspense and you built a community and the world building so much that people just want to stay in that world. And so, you may not have to be as, shocking in the first arc or whatever, the first story arc or the new story arc in the first chapter of that story arc, right? And so I think that's kind of interesting. Like the other show I was telling you about, Paradise, right? They kind of had something similar. Like that first episode, you're watching, it's like, something's off. You feel a little something's off, but you don't know. And then it hits you with that twist at the end. You're like, oh, I'm back for the next episode. And so I think that you're right. It's like um, back in the day, I can remember watching Lost, and the first episode.
just about to say that.
They okay. Did the first episode capture your imagination to keep watching it?
That was it, man. I was like, boom, I'm in. At
Really?
least for the first couple episodes.
So I thought it was interesting. Yes, I think the scene the guy was get away from the plane. He got sucked into the plane. I said, okay, we're doing
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
son. We're doing this. So that kind of got me hyped. But you know what got me really hyped? It was third episode in. I'll never forget it. Man of Action, Man of Faith. It was a John Locke episode. And you remember the twist in that one? The very first time we meet John Locke?
No, I don't remember the twist.
You remember everybody was talking to him. He said he was going to do a walkabout in Australia, and everybody said, "You can't do it. You can't do it." And we're like, "Why? Well, nobody let this guy go do the walkabout in Australia. He couldn't get a loan. His kids didn't believe him, and all this stuff." Come to find out, in the past, he was in a wheelchair. He couldn't walk.
Right.
And on the island, he was, walking around. He was the man everybody looked up to, and all this stuff. He was the man. But back in his old life before the plane, he was an invalid, and so it was kind of interesting. Where I thought, and I was like, oh, okay, this show is like, this is going to be some trippy
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
that's what got me in. That was like the third or fourth episode in. Similarly, Sopranos. The concept was interesting, but
Hmm.
everyone said the you remember we talked about this before. What was the episode that really hooked you in for The Sopranos?
I forgot what we talked about. I don't
College,
remember.
college.
Really?
You
Okay.
remember when he was showing Meadow the schools, and he was with his daughter, and they were going to schools,
Yeah.
and then when he was hanging out with his daughter, he said, "That's an old rat. What's he doing out here?" That while he
Right.
was hanging with his daughter, he took time out to go kill this dude.
Yeah.
That was a rat from 20 years ago. And still, and so the premise of the show was encapsulated in that one episode. And you said, oh, this guy's really a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's not the good guy. Or in Lost, oh, these guys are really transformed by going to this island. So you see what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. There's
the
always.
concept,
Yeah.
yeah, the concept, the first episode, has to be good, but I think they used to take a little bit of time to get to that transform that why is this particular story is interesting. But I
Yeah.
think they're trying to push that up further to the first episode because they, like you said, they don't capture you. You ain't waiting around for no third or fourth episode usually. You like,
Yeah. I think there's that initial, hey, look over here kind of thing that happens in the first episode, or definitely at least like with Invincible, it was the very end of the first episode, which was funny. I told somebody, it's like, listen, I know you like to cut out of shows early. Do not cut out of the end of the first episode of Invincible. And they're like, all right, whatever. And they called me back and were like, yeah, I was about to cut out early. I saw everything wrapping up, but you were right. I was like, exactly. So so you have that initial hook, but if you can't if you can't hold the hook, you don't want the fish to spit the hook, right? If you can't hold the hook, then you don't really have them. So you need that other thing that you're talking about, it seems, to not just hook them, but make sure that hook's in there tight. So whatever that second thing is to like cement the whole thing. So you get the look, like, oh, okay, what's this about? And then you get like, oh, and then you sit back and you want to catch the whole thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about X-Men 97 while you're talking about that. What was the hook when we saw that one? The X-Men, the recent X-Men. Do you remember? What made that first episode? It was because Cyclops was wrecking shop. Remember? He was actually doing some shit. He's like, oh, Cyclops is out here wrecking shop. He was throwing bows, pew, and then basically using his thing to stop, and then landed his 3-point stand. I was like, okay.
We had never seen him mobilize himself with his eye beams before, and that was kind of crazy. Like stuff was about to blow up. It's like I'm gonna just push myself out the way.
But it was like they just reshaped how we thought about Cyclops because I guess I just went in thinking because remember I think Wolverine was running the shop right back then, and I
Yeah.
thought they were just going to center it on Wolverine, but really in the whole series he really wasn't that centered at all. Maybe to the very end, right? When the classic scene for Magneto and him to meet up. So, guys, we're talking about a lot of these shows, so we're not giving any spoilers. Hopefully, we're giving you little snippets. So, go check out all these shows we talked about. Maybe we'll have James list up all the shows we talked about in the show notes. But yeah, these are all great shows and movies that have great concepts and great hooks.
Let us know some of your favorites, the ones that you look back on, and tell us in the comments. I really want to hear what were some shows that got you hooked, that hit you with a certain concept you just had to check out, and that was interesting to you.
I love it, man. Time for trailer time, brother.
Yeah, man. Let's do a trailer. Crap. You want to do both of them or all
I'm
three?
gonna let's do Black Mirror first. Let's do that one.
All right. We are going to do Black Mirror. So what this is, and everybody here should know what Black Mirror is. I'm not even gonna front like that, but it's an anthology, a collection of odd stories that give a weird reflection of humanity as it is right now. I guess that's a good way of explaining it. And we got season 7 coming up, and the trailer just got released. So, all right, we got this queued up. This is Black Mirror. Have you watched a lot of Black Mirror? You keep up with it, or?
Oh yeah, I used to be a super fan. That was one of those shows back in the day. It was super exciting. Kind of fell off a little bit for me. I think it didn't seem interesting enough. So I'd be curious to see how hard he's going to go this time because I think we're living in a Black Mirror episode. I already talked to you. I mean, with the AI, with Trump being president, it's just I don't know how much different he can make a Black Mirror episode now.
Yeah, I think at some point some of them didn't get weird enough or outside the box enough, and that's the kind of the concept of the show. So we'll see what season 7 has for us, and we're going to go ahead and get into this one in 3, 2, 1, play.
We'd like to welcome you back.
Ready?
Yeah. 3, 2.
And action.
They call it mind expanding. It alters your neuronal structure. The mind is a computer. Suddenly, we're not just more receptive. You become a receiver.
Sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do.
I just want something magical, timeless.
Come with me.
We'll all be cyborgs before long.
Just remember that they're AIs. To them, this is real.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Kids love honey. That's why parents love Honey Nugs. The sweetest way to start your day.
We're getting quite a following.
Yes.
We have to create software that elevates us. Or else, what is the fucking point of the tools at our disposal?
I'd never seen anything like it.
Humans consider artificial life to be somehow less than them.
Do you have a problem with me?
What?
She was just a bit odd.
Odd.
Oh,
We're all a bit odd.
My heart is pounding like a drum.
I'd have listened.
You'd have heard her?
Yes, I would!
You are a fucking miracle.
It's a game.
What are most games about? Escapism? Killing.
I don't like this game.
I'm losing my mind.
All right.
are we interested?
For a moment there, I thought they might be switching over to, instead of separate stories, all connected stories. Because
Yeah, I
they
thought
all
so
kind
too.
of seemed same. They all seemed kind of similar.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'm going into an AI system, so maybe they are connected in some way. And I thought I saw the Bandersnatch guy in one
Yeah,
of them.
that's the Bandersnatch guy. So that's like maybe a continuation of the story. And there was a storyline about like this woman who was trapped in a Star Trek kind of reality, and it looks like they're doing
Yep,
a sequel to
exactly.
that too. So it looks like two of the stories may be sequels. But the ongoing theme of those little things that people put on their foreheads that continues, right? Um, yeah. So, sure. We'll see. I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah, so it's funny. I just looked it up. Somebody said that we should call this Neo Black Mirror instead of the Black Mirror that was relevant. Wow.
Ooh.
I wouldn't go that far. It still seems interesting.
But
If the
crack me up,
story,
honey nugs. That's a funny word to me.
I don't know if you noticed it, but they did an AI glitching kind of AI movie thing that kind of weirded me out on someone's face. Like it was
Interesting.
intentional, and I was just like, I don't know if that weirds you out in any of the AI movies, like when Will Smith was eating spaghetti for the first time.
Yeah, I hated that. Yeah, that was weird. But what was
There were-
weird to me, that hot dog in this one, it looked a little scary. The little hot dog
Mhm.
feature that was a little weird to me. The
Yeah.
two ones are Bandersnatch and USS Callister. That was the so it looks like they're gonna be sequels to those. So but to your
Do we
point,
want?
I don't know. He may put them all together. I don't know. It might be interesting to see.
Yeah, if they're solid stories, it'll work. But if it's one of those things where you kind of want something fresh, new, and interesting out of every episode.
Yeah.
So if they pull it back into something that's more of a series, more of a continual kind of thing, I don't know. That's different, but not what we were expecting.
Okay.
As I said, I have no expectations. I'm just going to take what they give me as long as it's cool.
Yeah, I think we'll both watch it, but I'm kind of cautiously optimistic because I got burned by the last one. Last one was okay. I think the only good one I saw was the one that was made fun of Netflix. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah,
That was weird.
I actually
That was
really
a
like that
weird
one.
one.
Yeah.
That was a weird one. They actually had we got the AI version of Selma Hayek, and she's played by this person. It's like what?
I
So
really like that one. Yeah.
yeah, and they were making fun of Netflix. It was just too many things going on. I'm actually okay. We do too, man. Maybe we'll do this Lilo and Stitch. I kind of have a fondness for that movie, so I wanted to
I
see.
know you do.
It's just funny to me, man. The cartoon. Yeah. So let's watch that one next if you want. If you do, you want
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
the intro?
Yeah, I'll do the intro. So Lilo and Stitch, I know this got a lot of fans out there. This is one of those Disney IPs, properties that came out was unexpected, literally by the studio and by the populace because of the way it was developed. It kind of came out of a guerrilla group of developers who were like, "Hey, we want to tell this certain story," and that happens every once in a while in these big studios. But this one is very dear to a lot of people's hearts because it just went in some funny directions. And if you know the artist for Lilo and Stitch originally, he's actually on some other stuff too. You can go look up some of his other art. I don't know if you have, Theo.
I have not. I don't know if I want to now.
I'm just saying those thick legs are part of his trademark.
Okay.
I don't want
he
to
like
ruin
them.
your idea.
He like them thick legs. THICC.
Thick guys. Trick daddy type guys. Somebody's looking up Trick Daddy right now. Yeah, so anyway, we got Lilo and Stitch. Live action. People have been wondering about this one because the whole live action thing with Disney has been long in coming. Now they have the technology to really do Lilo and Stitch right. Let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and get into it with the Lilo and Stitch official trailer coming to theaters May 23rd. In 3, 2, 1, play.
We have apprehended a dangerous experiment. Where is he?
He escaped.
He's trying to find the police cruisers.
He took the red one.
What hideous planet is caught in your crosshairs?
A shooting star! I wish for a friend. Like a best friend.
What the hell?
Yes.
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility. Got it.
We promise.
Yeah.
Get down from there!
Look like an angel.
No. Control him. Hey, what are you doing? No. Dogs on the table.
You sure that's a dog?
Yeah.
Rough.
Ew. We are not keeping this thing.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten.
Stitch bad.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That was close. I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
Agent Cobra Bubbles.
We have a blue dog to catch.
No, wait!
No. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.
I like how it was rated PG. Action and peril.
Yes.
Peril and thematic elements.
I have a prediction.
Yeah.
This movie's gonna make $1 billion.
A Billy, you're calling it?
I'm calling it, man. It's coming out May. That's a good time.
Ooh.
So it's got enough time for the summertime. I'm telling you, man, it doesn't have that Disney stink to it. It's like this dude is nasty, man. He'll do some grimy stuff, man. And who doesn't like that, man?
I mean, he picked his nose with his tongue and then chewed on it. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not.
Yeah.
But just it just like I said, there's a couple scenes in that cartoon that's hilarious to me, man. Like one character's talking to this other character, and they're just talking. He's just looking at him, just weird. And he just shakes his head. He picks up a shoe and just throws it at him, just out of random. Just like, I just don't like you. I mean, we see scenes like that. Classic, man. Just gold, man. funny. Ving Rhames, he was the original kind of agent. Looked like they got Courtney B. Vance in that role. So I guess Ving Rhames, he couldn't, portray his original character. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, man, I'm excited. And then the music, man, the Hawaiian music and then Elvis music, and then the beautiful scenery of Hawaii. Like I said, man, I think it's a lot of things going for this movie that I think is going to make a lot of money. That's my prediction.
Yeah, so obviously it's on the trending list. You're talking about it's going to be a hit. It's already on the trending list. It's got 13,000 comments, and it was just released a couple days ago, or a little while ago. Yeah, yeah. This is. I'm just looking through the comments, and I think you're onto something, man.
Yeah, there's something about this movie, just Lilo and Stitch. He wasn't most beloved when it came out, but it would just always stood out. And when you think about marketing, branding, differentiation, it always stood out as a different kind of cartoon or Disney animation movie. And so,
you know what? Yeah, it's like The Accountant of the Disney movies. It's a cult favorite.
Yes, exactly. Good point. And all these kids, now the folks that watch the movie, they grew up and they have kids of their own, and so that's good. I think I was a little older when it came out, but I always liked it, and I watched it with my daughter, and I kind of, I think I'm going to, take her. I kind of, she has a little spicy side to herself, so I always call her Stitchy sometimes. So that's why I'm going to go check it out and go take her with me. So that'd be fun. All right, one last trailer. I think we're doing 3. I'm excited.
Oh, we're going to do 3?
Yeah, let's do the F1. I want to see what that's about too.
All right. Well, you want to launch this one because I don't know anything about F1, and
you had some.
Put it together.
Yeah, you had some good takes on your reviews of different shows, but like F1, obviously that's been kind of blowing up here in the States. F1 racing. I had the opportunity to go to Vegas a couple years back when they were actually going to do F1 racing there in Vegas, and you saw all the track getting set up and people getting super excited. You have what's his name, Hamilton, the black racer. Man, why am I drawing a blank on his name right now? He just went to Ferrari after being years with I want to say Richard Hamilton. I think that's his name. He's the race car racer. I think he's like 7-time champ. So he's been most decorated. He's up there with Schumacher and all the great racers. So it's definitely, interesting sport. It's one of those things that just in America really hasn't taken off, but it slowly started taking off thanks to Netflix having like a Drive to Succeed kind of show that got people excited about the racers and what they do. So yeah, man, it's it's a thing, F1 racing, and so it's interesting to go have an actual movie about it with Brad Pitt in it, and the rumored to be. Well, maybe we'll talk about this another time. Damson Idris, who's rumored to be maybe the next Black Panther. He's in it as well. So should be interesting to see. So this is F1, the official trailer, and we'll get started in 3, 2, 1.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
And if you don't love me now, we'll never.
My rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young. You plus him, boom, I got a team.
When was the last time you won a race?
Sunday, Daytona.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
There's this new guy. He's old. He's such a prick. He's quick though.
If you had any constructive criticism for each other, what would it be?
Don't be such an ass.
dickhead. That was constructive.
Wow.
Did you win something? There's 20 other drivers still out on that track. Do you think any of them respect us?
They're saying Sonny Hayes isn't a has-been. He's a never was.
If the last thing I do is drive that car, I will take that life, man. 1,000 times.
I'm offering you an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say, if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
Never break
Okay. What you think?
I'm vibing on that. From the opening music to the way it laid out the track, I got good director vibes from that immediately, and it wasn't trying to be something else. And then I gotta admit, the Top Gun Maverick and the Apple Films logo kind of touched me.
Touch you
I've never
how?
seen
We
that.
got you excited about it when you saw Top Gun Maverick and Apple?
Yeah, both the Top Gun Maverick thing was like, oh, cool. I really like the way that was shot and like it felt and it brought me good vibes. And then the Apple logo, it's like, I don't know. I'm just being an Apple fanboy for the past couple of days, so it just hit me at the right moment. I was impressed with it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm there. I mean, it seems going to be well made, but it just had me cracking up. You live by the van, by the river. You know how they started. It's like he's down his luck. I was like, do you ever see Will Ferrell, Ricky Bobby, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby?
I may have fallen asleep on that one.
Oh man, that's what that reminded me of too, man. This
Yeah.
guy just down on his luck. You can't never make it. You never was. It's just like, okay, we know the story. But man, kudos for Damson Idris, man. He's doing his damn thing. Hopefully he can get to the next level in this Hollywood game. Did you ever watch Snowfall? I heard it was good. I need to watch that.
No.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. He did that for 5 seasons. It's supposed to be really good. So I might go back, check that out and see how good he was. But yeah, he's on the up and coming list. And like I said, rumored to be the next Black Panther. So we'll see how he does in this movie against Black Pitt. I mean Brad Pitt.
Hey, Grok AI, could you generate a picture of Black Pitt?
Oh, it will by hesitation.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's
Oh
funny.
man, but yeah, seems interesting, man. Definitely Grand Prix F1 shot by the guy who did Kaczynski, the guy who did Top Gun. So I think it'll be good, man. So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna make $1 billion. It's gonna make some change. So
Yeah.
all right, Mr. Benja, man, we did it. Another one in the books. Anything got going on for this week?
Nah, man. I'm staying in the dungeon. They're gonna drop off some bread and water on a tin plate in a few hours, so that'll be my food for the week. I'm just in the dungeon, man. That's pretty much it for right now. And I'm watching One Piece, I guess, to keep my 5 brain cells still working.
I love it. Well, man, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, man, we'll catch up again, man. I'm sure soon. This week it'll be, with some family time. So we'll catch up next week about what that entailed. But yeah, man, super excited about taking some time with the family this week. So spring break, bing, bang. So, man, I've been enjoying this as always. So look, everyone, if you like this as much as we like doing this, please subscribe, comment, and like at Show Versus Business on X, Threads, YouTube, and Instagram. Listen to us at Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And go check us out on our website, Show Versus Business, where you learn more about us and what we do. All right, Mr. Benja, have a good one.
Peace.